Hello, this is my 1978 Datsun 280Z Turbo LS that you were looking at buying, and I was going to do a video walk around of it. So I guess first thing we'll start with is the engine bay. It's a 2009 GM 6.0 Vortec LY6 with the LS3 heads. The engine's been completely built. Other than ring gaps or stock, so it's only limited to about 12 psi or so. But there's a whole build sheet on the engine I can send you. It's a 75-78 VS Racing turbo, and the whole hot side is custom made, and the exhaust is as well. It basically just runs out the front and over the side and then dumps out the fender on the passenger side. So there's a 44mm wastegate, and I think I'm running a 44mm blow-off valve as well. Champion 3-core radiator, just an eBay intercooler on here. The car itself isn't in perfect shape paint-wise, cosmetically. I didn't build it to be a show car, so if you're wanting a show car, this is not the car for you. I painted it myself. I'm not a body man. You can see some of the door gaps are not great. There's some places where there's some runs, and then there's a couple nicks in the paint here. This is a single stage paint, so these should just buff out. You should be able to sand them down and buff them out. The whole body really just needs to be kind of gone over and buffed. It would probably clean up quite nice. I don't know what type of paint job you're wanting to go for. The back has these turnbuckles that I built. I TIG these little brackets on and everything. I was just going to run a piece of either plexiglass or some type of polyurethane or something sheet across the back for a spoiler. It does have louvers. It's missing one of the locks. I don't know where the hell it went. I don't know if it fell off while I was driving. So these guys here are just little eBay vortex generators. I just thought they looked pretty good, but a couple of them fell off. They're easy to take off. All you gotta do is just peel this stuff here up and they'll come off. So like I said, the paint job isn't perfect. The cat actually got on it this morning and got it all dirty. So it's got Techno Toy weld-in coilover, camber adjustments, excuse me, a BC Racing coilovers. The whole engine bay is done in like a Raptor line coating. You can see it's kind of flaking off in a couple places, that side and in the back side as well. So turn your right side up here. There's a Wilwood 1-inch master cylinder, a Tilton clutch master cylinder. The T56 I just put in there is out of a 2006 GTO from a LS2. I just put a center force clutch that's rated for about 650 horsepower at the flywheel, which is pretty close to what this thing will be making at 10 pounds of boost. So, and then you can see on this side another weld-in camber plate. I mean, it's just not, the car isn't really built to be a show car or anything. So the engine bay is not painted or anything like that. It's just coated with the Raptor liner. So it's just the look that I was going for. I kind of built the car for me. So the flares are JPN Garage flares. They're starting to kind of crack a little bit. You can see I don't really like these flares. That's why I bought the different. You can see that one there's cracked. I don't really like these flares, but that's what I had at the time when I built the car. I actually have some more flares you can kind of see right over there, and there's a big box right behind them that's got another set in it. That was actually what the plan was to put on here. I just haven't had time to yet. The wheels are Tar Racing wheels. They're 15 by 10.5, -32, and I run Toyo Proxys R888s. And got R's on the back because they quit making the other tread pattern. You can see the wheels got a little bit of black on them. That's just plasti dip I need to finish taking off. I was just wanting to see what the car looked like with black wheels on it. So, and you can see the car's just dirty. The inside, again, is nothing special. It's got a dash that I don't know why I did this, but I redid the dash, cleaned it all up, and then I cut it kind of crappy to put the cage in here. You can kind of see cuts aren't that great. I'd planned on taking all this out and redoing it. It's just, to me, I wasn't too worried about it. I just wanted to get the car running and driving. And then I use a tablet. This here can go with the car. It's a RCA tablet. It hooks into the Holley Terminator, which is mounted. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's mounted right down in there. And it runs the whole car. So the only thing that really the front needs is just door cards. I did install power windows. So that kind of is nice. It's got a full 10-point cage in it. And then there's the new Optima red top battery I just went and bought. Picked that up. The back. I put this dyno mat material on here to kind of help with the vibrations. But this whole gray sheet you see here, it's blue underneath, but that whole sheet comes out, and there's actually a 17-gallon fuel cell in the back. There's the return style. That comes from a Corvette fuel pump regulator, or fuel pressure regulator, excuse me. And then this right here is the filler neck for putting gas in it. It's located behind the tag. You just have to take the tag off to put gas in it. There's a little JBL or JL Audio sub that comes in. There's like a little 8, and then there's 2 Rockford Fosgate door speakers. It sounds pretty good. I mean, for what it is, the car makes enough sound as it is. So, and then you can see in the back there's the camber plates, also where the stuff's kind of flaking off. I mean, the car's not perfect. The wiring harness in the car has actually been redone. It's a universal wiring harness, so I upgraded all from glass fuses and everything. So it's one problem you ain't got to worry about. I just put this little third brake light up in here. I thought it looked pretty neat. I haven't quite figured out how I was wanting to tuck the wires, so this is just kind of a temporary deal. So that's just kind of run down and tagged into the brake light. So I guess I could go ahead and start it up. Right now, one of the oil pressure gauge isn't hooked up. Oh, so first you got to turn this red key that turns the battery on. Turn the ignition, fuel pump for prime. The oil pressure is not hooked up. The temperature gauge is reading a little off for some reason. Both it and the tach read a little off. You can send them back to Intellitronics. They have a lifetime warranty on them, so they'll fix them for you for free. So, make sure she's in neutral. See, right now it should be idling at about 900. It's about 1,000 off. So I haven't wired up the inputs or the outputs in the ECU yet for the fans. So right now I just have 2 relays that just jump for running the fans. It's just a little boost gauge I bought just whenever I was getting it set up, just to check, make sure I didn't have anything ran backwards. Setup wasn't running. You're probably gonna have a hard time kind of hearing me. It is kind of loud. Everything runs good. I tried to do the best job I could with it. I haven't had any issues with it so far. Everything seems to be pretty good, and it pulls really hard. It's a very fast car. So if you ever find this, make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into. This car is not just for the beginner. Kind of wanting to go to something different now and move on to a different project, so maybe she'll go to a good home. Thank you.